Extra Time.
Ashwin, just a few minutes back, Ishant spoke to the broadcasters and said that the first 2 days it felt like they were bowling on the road. Like you have bowled in so many test matches. Is it the toughest 2 days, first 2 days that you have bowled? Like what the probably the figures won't suggest the kind of bowling, the performance you have had, and this kind of a track at Chip Out.
Look, personally, when I saw the wicket, I believed it will be a good one to bat. But I thought it might do a little more than what it did on the first day. It was really flat, and it was like a sort of what to say, a crucial toss for us, I would say. But I still thought we fought back really well through the course of the day yesterday, and even today we fought back pretty well. If we can have a good fifth day, we'll be quite happy to round off this test.
Just a word on the ball, please. Like, is it getting a little softer more than what you guys expected, or how did it get this G1?
See, this game, the ball was pretty. I mean, it was very bizarre for us because I've never seen an SG ball tear through the seam like that before. It could well be a combination of how hard the pitch was in the first 2 days. Even in the second innings, after the 35th, 40th over, the seam started to sort of peel off. It was bizarre. I mean, I haven't seen an SG ball like that in the last so many years. But yeah, maybe it could be due to the pitch and the hardness of it through the center, which is making the ball get scuffed up like that. But we will have an answer for it going through the series.
Before England came, we knew that especially a guy like Joe Root is going to employ a lot of the sweep shot because that's his trademark and he's been doing it a lot in his career. So he did that quite often here also. So how do you counter it? Like, you did try changing a few things, but he was employing the sweep, reverse sweep, and
look, I think before you carry on with that question, in the first innings, the number of sweeps he played off me was very, very minimal. He was very careful in how he was going to sweep because we had plans in place and we had lines in place. When good players play, you can make your plans. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But if you have the further question to go on from there, I'll let you ask me now.
no, not just you. We saw him trying to do that a lot against Shahbaz Nadeem as well.
So when he probably did that in the second innings, he was not the same. He was not at the same comfort level. I thought he was getting beaten in the flight, and it does make a difference when you play on a day 1 pitch and a day 4 pitch. There is a massive difference. It's not the same because the pitch out here tends to get slower and slower, and the runs start to go a little squarer off the pitch, which is something that as a player from this part of the country I do understand, and that's how it works.
We saw the ball keep a bit low today, for example, when Bumrah bowled to Root. Do you think Archer and Anderson will also have a big role to play tomorrow? And also, if you could speak about Ishant's achievement of 300 test wickets. You have been a teammate of his for the last 10 years and you've seen him put in the hard work. So, yeah, you could speak on Ishant as well.
Look, Ishant has been one of the most hard-working cricketers that I have seen in that Indian team dressing room. He's worked extremely hard for more than just one reason, because being that tall itself requires a lot of facets to be managed through a career which has spanned out to almost 14 years now, if I'm not wrong with the number. So from the Ishant that went to Australia, got Ricky Ponting out, and then has gone through so many other tours. He's had his fair share of injuries. For a fast bowler to get close to 100 tests in India is not a joke, and it's a fantastic achievement. And 300 club, he's the third Indian fast bowler to get there, and the only one that's closer to him after that is probably Javagal Srinath, who's the match referee of this game. So I can keep going on and keep complimenting Ishant, but I really do wish to see him get to 400 and probably 500, which will be a sort of a roadmap for a lot of Indian quicks going forward.
He had asked when the ball was keeping low. So
oh yeah. See, look, I think even in the first innings, Jassi got a couple of LBWs. I think he might have even dismissed Dom Best's LBW with the one that just probably stayed a bit low. There are a few things that we need to understand when it comes to Jassi's bowling. The arm path is very different to that of what Anderson and Archer have. And these two are exponents of the subcontinent conditions. They've been playing first class cricket through in India. So I think it's a facet of the game. Sometimes it goes unnoticed or unobserved from the outside, which I think might not necessarily happen. Do you think the wicket will play nicely?
Hi Ashwin, it's a two-part question. One is, what did the team make of England's approach in the last session? And do you think this Indian team's recent efforts in chase had something to do with that? And the second part is,
Varun,
What is
let's limit it to
No,
one
just
question.
just I'll freeze you at the first start because I tend to forget it. So you can ask after that I finish. I think the approach was something that we probably expected that they will try and put probably 430, 440 on the board. So we were also trying to manage our overs accordingly. The recent success or not sure. I'm not really sure about what went inside the dressing room, but I'd like to think in Test match cricket, the bowlers being tired and coming out to again wheel out another spell, all these things get factored in. So it's their management call, and I'm not very aware of it. If you have a second part, I can answer.
Ashwin, a word on Washington Sundar's batting yesterday and more so this morning. Even reducing the deficit to that extent can be so important. So a word on that.
We actually did believe that we can wipe out the follow-on and even go on big because we played on pitches here, both Washi and I, and we sort of understand how it can be slow and we need to pick our shots and pick our battles properly. In fact, we got nicely settled in, but I thought the ball bounced a little too much on that particular delivery. But having grown up playing club cricket in Chennai and all, playing spin is one facet of the game that I think anybody coming from this part will do really well. And Washi is a fantastic batsman. I think a lot of people going by the T20 format where he plays at number 7 and all that don't recognize his batting talent. He's quite a special batsman.
Hi Ashwin. Ashwin, you played through the pain in Australia. You missed the last test. So after bowling out more than 70 overs in this test in these hot and humid conditions, how the back is holding up?
I've seen quite a few interesting observations on what people think of what might happen and what might not. But as a cricketer, that's the last thing that will go through my head. And for me, I'm, part and parcel of my club cricket days were like bowling 35, 40 overs in a day and probably go back to the net and again bowl. When it comes to bowling, it's the joy that I have out there in bowling. Even if some parts of my body are not responding properly, I can still keep going. That's how much I really love my art. And I wouldn't even go that route and think. My body is, today morning was pretty fresh again when I wanted to come out and bat. So I would think I just want to keep bowling as long as I'm bowling well.
Hi, just a quick one again on England's, on the third innings and England's approach. Do you think they'd let you back in the game with the way they played? That was a bit confused, wasn't it?
Look, I think they had two options in front of them in the morning. They could have either asked us to follow on or they would have, the only reasoning I can see is they wanted to give a bit of a rest to their bowlers, which is a part of the game that's not very well, sometimes that is not very well understood from the outside. So that could have been the thinking that's gone inside, wanting to bat again and give their bowlers an extended rest, because sometimes fresh bowlers can do the trick more than tiring bowlers. So that's all I can think of it.
Ashwin, ये इस लेवल पे जब क्रिकेट खेला जाता है तो खेलना और अंडर प्रेशर खेलना इसमें फर्क हो जाता है. तो अभी तक इंडियन स्पिनर्स को अंडर प्रेशर सचमुच के सिचुएशन के अंडर प्रेशर में इंग्लिश बैट्समैन खेले नहीं है. ये बहुत बड़ा फर्क आपको दिखाई देगा.
ये सच में समझ में नहीं आया सुनंदन सर.
सर
प्लीज रिपीट आप.
प्लेइंग अंडर प्रेशर का फर्क जो रहता है क्रिकेट में.
नो, आप जो पूछ रहे हो कि अंडर प्रेशर बैटिंग करना स्पिन के अगेंस्ट मुश्किल लगा आप वही पूछ रहे हो. नहीं, ज़रूर सर. जो इंडिया में तो इंडिया नहीं है, सारे दुनिया में अभी ऐसे हो गया कि टॉस जीत गया तो मैच में बहुत बड़ा एडवांटेज मिलता है. बट हमारा जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया टूर में हुआ है, हम टॉस ही नहीं जीता है एडिलेड टेस्ट के बाद, बट फिर भी हमको मैच जीतने को मिला. बट आई थिंक इधर दिस पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, इवन व्हेन इंग्लैंड केम लास्ट टाइम, तब मोहाली में टॉस जीते वो लोग, उनका सपोर्टर्स ताली मार रहे थे, और ऐसे ही मुंबई में भी हुआ. बट इट इज़ अ वेल नोन डायनेमिक्स ऑफ द गेम. एंड आई थिंक प्रेशर में वापस खेलना, तब बॉल थोड़ा स्पिनर को मदद मिल रहा है, वो सब अलग चीज़ है. बट आई थिंक दिस ऑगर्स रियली वेल फॉर द सीरीज टू गो फॉरवर्ड. हम लोग एक्सपेक्ट किया कि इंग्लैंड अच्छा करेंगे, क्योंकि वो लोग ऐसे ही खेल रहे थे लास्ट 2 साल से. थोड़ा नया टीम लेके आया स्पिनिंग कंडीशंस में, उनको अच्छा मैनेज कर रहे थे, उनका टीम कॉम्बिनेशन भी बदल के खेल रहे थे. वो लोग अच्छा ही खेलेंगे टेस्ट क्रिकेट में, वो लोग भी अच्छा टीम है. सो हम लोग एक्सपेक्ट किया, बट आई थिंक इट सेट्स अप रियली वेल फॉर द फ्यूचर ऑफ द सीरीज.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Xtra Time.